Hello, and welcome to Broads and Books. I'm Erin.
And I'm Amy, and this is a very special bonus episode.
I think you said bonus that time.
Bonus. Summer Let me try that again.
It's not a number.
No, it's not. Why can't I do this? Summer pop culture vibes. And we have a favorite guest.
Sorry, really one of our only guests.
Our own.
I mean,
That's why you're our favorite. Heath.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
just reoccurring. We've decided not to bring anyone else.
No.
We've just consistently.
All we need is Heath.
One person. Mm-hmm.
Because you bring it all. Hi,
do.
Heath. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I was trying to remember. Is this your fourth or fifth time with us?
I wanted to say 4.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe
I
with
will.
the next time we need to do like a 5-timers club,
Yeah.
something or other, give you a gift of some
Ooh,
kind.
like SNL, like
Yes,
the jackets.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
We need to do another cookbook episode too.
Oh shit. Are we recovered from the last one?
Do you still have that Kate Gosselin pie in your refrigerator?
Is it still alive?
Probably is. It's probably why Norwalk has a distinct smell.
Maybe.
It
Yeah.
has a smell problem.
Yeah.
I threw that whole pie tin away. I didn't even try to clean it because I put it in water to soak, and the water just sat on the top, which seemed very alarming.
Yeah, that's
water
not how
was
it's supposed to work.
And the tray.
It's like it
Yeah.
did something with physics and something that's not right.
It's not right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
water wanted no part of that.
No.
No.
How dare you? So I just threw the whole
Leave
thing
me
away.
out of this.
Hey, pie tins are cheap. I'm done. Well, we thought that we would bring you a full pop culture episode of some of our favorite moments this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And in keeping with our summer theme,
Mm-hmm.
which has been 80s,
Yeah.
we went way back and dug up some of our favorite moments from the 80s pop culture scene.
And they are doozies.
They are doozies.
I don't know yours. I don't know Heath's. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're doozies. All of them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just knowing mine. It's going to be great.
I feel like you're going to be really on par. I felt like
Mine?
yeah. Like
Oh.
I knew without even knowing your picks, you understood the assignment. Like you were going to knock it out of the park.
Oh, okay. That's a lot to live up to, but we'll try.
I feel like it's in your wheelhouse.
All right.
You'll be fine. Mhm.
All right, so I thought we could do a round of recent moments
Mm-hmm.
and then a round of 80s moments. But to start it off, perhaps we could each share our fashion trends, our favorite 80s fashion trends, because there's a lot to choose from.
Woo. What a
And
decade to
let's go
close.
with you first, Erin. What do you got?
Mine's the scrunchie.
Oh, which is popular again.
It is, yeah. Apparently, I didn't know this, but it actually started in the 1960s. I remember no iteration of that.
Well, we weren't alive in the 60s,
Right,
so
but I
there's
mean,
that.
even in
yeah.
like shows.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
everything.
Yeah.
But in 1987 is apparently when it really hit the scene.
87. Huh. What was it about 87? The Lost Boys, like we were saying
So
before.
much in 1987.
Yeah.
And I had a vast collection because that was the era where you matched it to your outfit. You had multiple scrunchies.
Yes.
Didn't hurt your wrist either when you wore them. Not like the hair ties of today.
Yeah, you can't put a hair tie as a bracelet without choking off and making your hand unusable.
Right. And looking like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's swollen to a weird degree.
right. Like
No,
your hand is
scrunchies were
purple.
great. They
yeah.
were comfortable. And they've made a comeback. So I haven't gone back.
You haven't gone back?
No.
I've recently, remember banana clips? Mm-hmm. Like I have a sort of a semblance, but like a nicer one than, because banana clips used to go like all the way
Yes,
up
and you
over
had
your
to
whole head.
Flip them at the
Like,
top. I could
it
never
just-
do it.
I could never either because my hair was too much. I'm like, who is this for? This isn't for me.
Also, the curve, the fact that curve.
Yeah.
What a weird product.
It's so weird. But they were a big thing.
They were.
Did you wear
huge.
banana clips, Heath?
I did not. Yeah, I think most people who know me know how I feel about bananas.
Oh, true. It happened.
Yeah.
Wait, was that was alive in childhood, your hatred of bananas?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I
Wait,
feel
does
that
it
way about the
come
clips.
from childhood? Did you have a banana trauma?
Yeah, I did. I had a this is going to be a little therapy for everybody.
Okay, let's hear it.
I believe I opened a little Debbie that I thought was lemon flavored.
Oh,
And it was banana, and my mother made me finish it because she didn't want to waste food. And it took me a few hours to finish it. Like I was being stubborn. Like I just sat there and I thought, she's going to give up, right? And she did not give up. And
Wow. Okay, then
So-
your hatred of bananas makes a little more sense.
It
now.
does.
Yeah.
Okay. That's also super disappointing. Lemon to banana.
Yeah,
Right.
that's not a good match. No.
No.
Well, Heath, what fashion trend do you got for us?
I think probably my favorite fashion trend of the 80s was a mesh top.
With nothing underneath.
No.
Just a mesh
God,
top.
I forgot
A
about the
top
mesh
man
tops.
nipples. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you can see what's going on, but not really. It's like when you when you would see the adult channel, but it was scrambled
Right,
like on
right,
cable,
yeah.
and you'd kind of turn your head sideways, and you're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Like there's the shadows of some stuff under there. Oh, God.
Uh-huh. And that's why I think I have a good imagination today.
Yeah.
Because you really got to fill in the
You had
gaps.
to work for it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine, I don't know if it's a favorite, but it was the perm.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a visual aid for this.
Oh, boy. Because of you
Hang
with
on.
the perm. Is that what
Yes.
we're getting? Yes.
It was circa 88, 89. I can't remember if I've shown you this
I
before.
feel like I've seen
that's
one, but
not
I
it.
don't know if it's the same one that I'm about to lay eyes on. Yep, I do remember this. I do.
Would you describe it for our listeners?
Well, first of all, I've never seen someone sit so straight on the couch. So
That hair was heavy, and I was trying to...
it sort of looks like you might be employing a banana clip the way it's back.
Really?
But
Oh,
then
maybe
it
I
also
was-
might be a mullet.
Probably
Like a
mullet.
permed mullet.
Oh, my. Oh.
How would you describe it, Heath?
I feel like that perm is wearing you. You're not
Yep.
wearing a perm. That's the way I would describe it.
That's a great way to put it.
Also, not for nothing, I turned it over and it has someone else's name on the back, even though you are the focal point.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
There's a small child off frame opening a present. Apparently, that's what they were focused on.
I think they were trying to differentiate which of my twin brothers it was. But at that point, you very clearly knew who was who. So I don't know why that was. Oh, it was December 88. It says right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You, though.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
You look like you could have been the mom that brought them to the party to open the presents.
Absolutely.
It's got a mom vibe to it.
It does.
I do. And I have a pink sweatsuit on.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even discussed that.
Yeah.
Is it one?
As-
no,
as
it's
you
two
often wear
pieces.
today.
As I often wear today.
It's
Love
got
me
a mock turtleneck sweatsuit,
Oh.
too.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You are
is
just-
that one piece?
I
That whole
doubt
outfit?
it. No, I doubt
It
it.
sort of blends so well.
Yeah, you're right.
Uh-huh.
I just want to call attention to how tight those curls are. Because I think when I
Yeah.
decided I wanted a
Yeah.
perm, somehow I didn't think of all the tightness of perms. I was picturing what is basically my hair now, which is more wavy.
Sure.
I don't know why I didn't understand that my hair was wavy. Maybe it hadn't
Yeah.
been wavy up to that point. I don't know. So I got that, and immediately I was like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I imagined.
Oh, no.
I imagined gentle beachy waves. That is not.
That's not the beach. No.
When I went to school after getting it, someone said I looked like a popcorn ball.
Oh.
So
That doesn't feel accurate.
Did you go home and tell your parents that, and then they explained that person just likes you?
probably. He insults you because he likes you.
Yeah.
He's flirting with you.
Yeah.
What I'm really disappointed in this picture is that I get no sense of what your footwear is. And I feel like that's important.
You're probably true.
I would
Yeah.
like to see that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Moon boots, maybe? It is December.
Am I to assume that these two are dressed exactly alike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if that was 88, they were 6. And mom dressed them alike because it was cheaper.
Because
Probably
if you just
not.
bought one of every outfit, they could just rotate. If he wore it yesterday, the other one could wear it
That's a good
tomorrow.
point. That's a good point. I don't know. It was 1988.
It's a
Things were
commitment.
different.
It's a commitment.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to see you in that outfit. I would have liked,
We can wait if you want to go get it.
Well, thank you for sharing that moment with me, you two, and all of our listeners.
Thank you.
Yeah. Truly.
Well, for this summer, what do you got for us, Erin?
Oh, I'm up first.
Yeah, I'm going to make you go first. I'm defying the alphabet this time around because I've already monopolized some time with the perm. So I want to go for you.
It needed
Yeah.
to be done. Okay, which one to pick here? God, there are so many things that I like.
For this summer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
Are you having a different summer than I am?
No, I mean, I like the drama or
Okay,
trauma
okay,
of it,
okay,
not
okay,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like my favorite thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. I think that I'm going to have to go. We were just talking about this, but I don't really love the congressional hearings. But I really, really, really like the outtakes.
Yeah,
from
you
the
were just
Trump
mentioning
video.
this. Yeah.
I also really like finding out that the least crazy thing he did was throw a hamburger against a wall, even though we really focused on that for a good chunk of time. And the lady was like, no, it was crazier when he tried to choke the circus.
Right.
So you missed the point. The burger happened all the time. He tried to take over a limo. And I don't know. I feel like we've hit a ceiling where I'm not surprised by anything, but yet you surprised me. We got something new, and I wasn't expecting it. He can't say the word yesterday. I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared. I was not adequately prepared.
And you were saying beforehand, you didn't see a lot of these outtakes on the normal news. You saw it
No.
on Trevor Noah.
Yeah, The Daily Show, where now I've decided the only place I want to get my news because good job picking out the important stuff is what I say. And the important stuff was the 3-second clip where he says he can't say yesterday multiple times. It says we need a different word for yesterday because I can't say it.
Is there another word for yesterday?
I don't know. He
just
said
think-
yesterday like 15 times
I think
perfectly.
it's just
So
the day before today. Is it?
Yeah.
Or like Tuesday. I mean,
Right.
yeah, just
Yeah.
name the
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was referring to January 6th, so he could have just said January 6th.
January 6th, yeah.
And
Yeah. The day that, yeah,
day
we're
of-
talking about.
right, the whole day I'm releasing this statement for. Yesterday wasn't really pivotal. So my follow-up thing to this is that in the middle of this, his ex-wife died. And I feel as though no one's really investigating her death. And I feel a little scared because apparently it was just found at the bottom of a stairwell. And we've all accepted that it was an accident. And I want to know who collectively decided for the United States that we all think it's an accident. I don't.
I don't either.
I spit. I don't at all.
I think I don't want to say I have a favorite thing about Ivana Trump dying.
Right.
That's a weird way
Yeah,
to put it. But
that's
I
right.
did read his statement when she died, and he referred to her as a survivor in the statement, and I was like, no.
Survivor of him?
No. I think maybe she had cancer at one point in her life, but it's weird to use that word in a statement about someone dying because she is in fact not a survivor.
Right.
She is
Right.
dead.
She did in fact perish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just doesn't understand words.
No.
No.
But maybe whoever wrote that was just like, no, this is the kind of thing he'd say. We should definitely put this in here.
Yeah, we're gonna
we want
add
to make
this.
this sound believable.
We're gonna add this. Yeah, and then they kept showing that soundbite of her saying that they talked regularly, like 1 to 2 times a week, and I was like, but why?
Right.
Yeah, why would you?
Your children are grown.
Yeah.
Why?
If you didn't have to talk to the guy, why would you?
Which begs the question: what did she know? There's only one way you're getting attention from Trump. You have something he wants.
Uh-huh.
And now you're dead.
Interesting.
Just saying, James Patterson. It's like a novel ready to go.
Can we get Keith Morrison on this?
He would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could use a good lean.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not on the staircase because it seems dangerous, but
We were in the middle of the hearings, but little did he know
no. Ivana tumbled to her death
when he pushed her.
when he pushed her.
Yeah,
Or someone. I don't know if he does all of
that's
this
true.
evil
He probably
doing.
farmed that out to
Yeah.
somebody.
I feel like he's got little upper body strength. I'm not sure he'd be able to do that.
Yeah. True.
Maybe he threw a hamburger at her and she fell.
Sort of hip bounced her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's one of my. I feel like those moments right now are terrible, but someday.
We're going to appreciate
Yeah.
the gentle comedy of
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so.
Yeah. Heath, how about you?
There's kind of two, but I mean, my first one is from a little bit before summer, but it felt like summer to me. It's when Shania Twain and Harry Styles sang "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" at Coachella, because first of all, it's timeless art, and second of all, the video. They're both having a grand time. They are just loving it.
I haven't seen this.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And
So was it was his show and she was a guest at the
Right.
show? Okay.
Right. And I also just feel like, I feel like I'm so happy to be alive at a time where Shania Twain is a special guest at Coachella. Because, she hasn't always been like, had the cool factor maybe
Yeah.
for the last few years, but now I feel like she's kind of finding her way back to
What a
to
wonderful
that.
way to look at it, that we're alive to witness
And
such
they
a
were
moment.
they were both really feeling it. They were both into it. I encourage you to check out the clip on YouTube.
Excellent.
It needs a VH1 behind the music. I need to know who picked that song. Like,
Yeah.
here's Shania Twain's song list. What do you want to do? Man, I feel like a woman. That's what I want to do.
Also, do you think a lot of Harry Styles fans know who Shania Twain is?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just like, who's that gal?
But then maybe
Right.
she got a whole bunch of new fans.
Maybe, yeah. I was when we were watching the Winter Olympics this last year, when they were doing, everyone was coming out. I know this seems like a left turn, but stick with me. When all the different countries were coming out and they were introducing them, for some reason I was sitting on the couch and I told Michael, I was just like, wouldn't it be better instead of playing the national anthem for each country, they just started with "Man, I Feel Like a Woman"? And like, they'd be like, "Here's Brazil," nah, 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 and they just did that for everybody. Like, I feel like it would be really
It would be so much better.
right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That would boost morale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How can you not get excited, really? Did you come up with this song choice? Are you the VH1 behind the music?
They called you
Yeah, I sent a DM to Harry Styles.
from
Got
your
an
account,
idea.
the real Heath Smith official.
Yep. Yep.
He was
Okay.
like, this guy's legit.
This is
Yeah.
a great idea, and I'm all over it.
Yeah, and then my other thing is that video that Drew Barrymore put out a couple weeks ago of her just enjoying the rain. It was raining outside of her apartment. I think she lives in New York, and she's just like, she takes her glasses off and she's just like, I just love the rain. I just love the rain. If you can ever go out in the rain, go out in the rain. And it's, I mean, if she seems unhinged, she really seems unhinged. But I believe her. She's having a good time. I mean.
Well, good for her that she can
Yeah.
enjoy the little things and also demonstrate where she is in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little weird because it looked a little bit like she was like a pet of some kind, like drinking the rain. Like, you know, she was looking up and her mouth was open and it was like, you know,
Of some kind.
and I just like, can someone just get her a glass of water?
Yeah. Yeah. Is the water out in her apartment? Is that what's happening?
Oh, Drew Barrymore.
Wow.
Yeah, but she was having a good time, and you know, so was I.
I haven't seen that. No, I
haven't
want
either.
to.
Yeah.
Desperately.
I haven't seen the Coachella clip either.
Oh, I
Leave it
did
to
see
Heath
that.
to bring
I
some
know,
stuff.
Some deep cuts that we need to see.
Yeah.
Rain. Drew Barrymore in the rain. I need to see immediately.
I have two elements of two movies that I want to call attention to.
Okay.
One is actually seeing movies in theaters again.
Yes.
Heath, you and I saw Thor: Love and Thunder, which I very much enjoyed. We also saw some
outstanding.
naked Chris Hemsworth butt.
Ooh.
And that is a pop culture moment that we wanted and needed to see.
Chris Hemsworth's butt? Is that
Yeah.
what you said? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I just want to make sure I got the right. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just wonderful movie. I loved it. Everything Taika Waititi into
Amazing.
it. Into it. The other one is another Avenger, but he's in The Gray Man now in Netflix. Chris Evans, and he plays a bad guy. And Chris Evans as a bad guy is everything you could want and more.
Wow.
And let me tell you what he's dressed as when we first see him connect with Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
He has white pants on. He has hair cut along the sides and like long on top, and he has a very short mustache. And Ryan Gosling accurately says, the white pants, the trash stash, you had to be Lloyd Hansen, because Lloyd Hansen's the name of the villain. It's wonderful.
trash
He's having
stash,
he's
that's
having a
great.
great time. He's a mean guy. It's delightful.
Wow. I haven't watched it yet, so now I'm probably going to have to.
I mean, we saw
Just
him
for
as a
trash
villain.
stash.
Yeah, we saw him as a villain in Knives Out. Loved
yeah,
it.
true.
I want to keep seeing him as a villain. He's a great hero as Captain America. Love him. Even better as a villain.
And he had that ivory sweater on in Knives Out too.
Yes,
so
he
maybe
did.
it's light colored clothing.
Maybe
Really,
is.
it's part of the
It's
equation. right?
fashion driving him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think his performance must have overcome the name Lloyd. That you still walked away from that
Yes.
movie,
Yes.
which is a significant
true.
accomplishment.
Yeah. And so much so that afterwards I was like, when has there ever been a good Lloyd? And then I'm like, well, Lloyd Dobler, say anything. But that was a long time ago.
Right.
Since then, it's not a good name.
No.
But it's a good name for a sociopath played by Chris Evans.
It's perfect,
So
really.
there you go. So I recommend. The movie's great. Chris Evans, wonderful.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to have Lizzo knocking on his door again.
If only they can breed. That'd be great.
It's everything everyone wants,
Yep.
I think. It's the healing we need. When you said Ryan Gosling, it reminded me, it's not on my list, but have you seen the clip of him dressed as Ken? And
Oh my
Margot Robbie as
God!
Barbie?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a big pop culture.
That's something's happening
He keeps
there.
describing it as Kenergy. Because he's been doing a lot of interviews for The Gray Man, and everyone keeps asking him,
Right.
like, look at these photos.
Yeah.
What is this like? And he's like, it's great. Like, it's bringing out my inner Kenergy, and I love it.
It's how I lost the last shred of credibility I have with my 15-year-old, because he told me that Ryan Gosling's, and I was like, that's not possible. He's not going to. And I was like, now you're going to tell me that it's set to the song I'm a Barbie Girl. He's like, oh yeah, they played that. I was like, this is not real. This is a joke. Someone made this on the internet and put it out there. We need to have a class about media savvy. He's like, I'm serious. And then I watched it and I was like, I don't even know what to say. He's like, you're an idiot, and left.
I am very curious what this Barbie movie is going to be like. I mean, it's Margot Robbie
I know.
and her, and it's Greta Gerwig.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be really, I just don't know what angle this is, but
That's
I
what
love
I-
It
it.
can't just be a
confused.
straight Barbie
No.
movie, right?
No.
I mean,
That's what yeah.
And it seems like more pictures are coming out every day
Right.
of him in these ridiculous, wonderful outfits.
I mean,
And his hair is bleached beyond all bleach.
I'm already decided I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to at this point.
So next year's special pop culture episode, we'll be talking about Ken and his Kenergy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a whole episode dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's plan
we
on that.
should maybe see the movie first before we
yeah.
promise. But,
But hey, 2023, we're coming for you with the summer Kenergy.
my God, it's going to be 2023. Oh
Uh-huh,
my God.
uh-huh.
These past 3 years. Woo!
Yep.
Okay. So we're moving on to 80s, right?
Oh yeah, let's do an
Okay.
80s one. Yeah.
All right. So this one I kind of paired together because one was really, well, actually, they were both formative to me. And I'm just going to call this category Weird Dolls. Because,
Oh.
yeah.
I did not expect a category.
I think that this
named
is
that.
the root of why our generation as parents doesn't want to say no to kids.
Okay.
Here's why. One, the Chucky movie came out in 1988.
Oh.
I found that movie terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think I watched it. I was terrified to watch it.
I think the first one was actually scary intentionally, and then subsequent sequels that kind of became more jokey.
Yeah. But I remember distinctly being like, that's horrifying. The second thing was Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I think what happened there is that they were
I'm not
trying...
sure I see the distinction, but go
Yeah.
on.
Agreed. That I think that they were trying to set realistic expectations. Like, not every baby's cute. Some are
Oh,
terrifying.
yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen if you choose to have kids. And you might end up with a Chucky or a Cabbage Patch doll. And those options are not good. Those are not good options.
Those are the only two.
Yeah. Well, that's like the only, if you think about it, what other doll was this popular? I mean, you had Barbie and stuff, but like Cabbage Patch Kids was...
That was like the first time adults were fighting over toys,
Yes.
right? That I remember anyway.
And
Yeah.
that's terrifying too, because
Yeah.
have you seen that doll?
They are so bad.
The hair that looks like Cheerios, but it's soft yarn.
I wanted one so bad, and I remember that Christmas there was a box that I was like, "This is it, this is it," and then I opened it and it was like a knockoff.
Oh,
And I was
no.
so like,
Oh, no.
but I also knew that I couldn't express disappointment in my house, so I was just like, "Yeah."
Yay. So what was it? Like a...
It was some
A
real
Kale Patch Kid
I
or
don't know,
something?
but it was some real cheap. I'm sure so many like knockoffs were coming out because
Yeah.
no one could get the real
No,
Cabbage Patch.
Right.
no.
Yeah. And it was probably way cheaper because Cabbage Patch were insanely
They were
expensive.
so expensive, yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
out of our range, but
It's so odd. Such odd little bodies.
such odd little bodies.
little bodies.
And the fact that they just bypassed human reproduction and came out in cabbages, patches, cabbages and their patches.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a coming back from the dead vibe of pulling a being out of the ground, and now you're caring
You're
for
right.
it.
It was
I feel like
necromancy.
it's related to Chucky.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
No.
And then you were like, why doesn't this generation want to have kids? I got a couple reasons. Got a couple that jumped to mind. It didn't stop me, but I'm not always the quickest. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Terrifying.
Wow. I forgot about the 80s and creepy dolls. Good job. What do you got for us, Heath? An 80s one.
Probably. I remember. I think it was the summer I think I was 11 years old that summer. It was spending the entire summer watching MTV, waiting for them to play the Whitney Houston video, "I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me."
I have that same exact thing listed for Janet Jackson, Madonna, New Kids, and Tiffany. Watching MTV all day.
Yes. And listen, here's the thing, kids. Obviously, when there's teens listening to this right now,
Obviously.
certainly we've got a huge teen audience.
Yes.
Huge.
But it's so easy for you now to, if you want to hear a song, you just, open your phone, and in 2 seconds you're going to have it down. And that's not the way it was in the 80s. You had to work for it.
You had to work.
Right.
And by work, we mean sitting in front of a TV all day.
Yes. And part of that work was, watching things you didn't want to see because you were waiting for the thing you did want to see. And in my case, it was... and I don't want to, I don't want the Grateful Dead heads coming after me, but they had a video out called "I Will Get By," where they turn into skeletons partway through the video. And I didn't, for whatever reason, it made me uncomfortable. I don't know what it is about skeletons that made me uncomfortable, but it did.
It's a fair impulse.
Yeah.
There was that, and there was a video from Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Oh.
And they played that a lot too.
And they had clips from the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, okay, I've just got to get through this.
This is my penance
I just got to get through this to get to Whitney
Just so
Houston.
Whitney's there.
Yes.
How often, do you remember, on average, how often would Whitney come on? Would that video come on?
I think on a good day, I might see it twice.
Okay.
On a good day.
And you saw a lot of shit.
Right.
And the other times.
A lot of stuff that I did not want to see. And one of the other things I saw was a song that basically was a commercial for Revenge of the Nerds 2. And I remember then going to see Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Yeah.
And as I'm kind of processing all this as an adult, it's like, I just saw the video for, I think it was Back to Paradise was the name of the song. I saw it so much, and basically it was a commercial for the video that I just went and saw Revenge of the Nerds 2. By myself, I might add.
Wow.
My mother just dropped me off at the theater on opening day.
Oh my God.
And I was in this movie theater with maybe 2 other people. Because it was like 1 o'clock on a Friday.
Just little Heath.
So many leads in there.
Just little Heath alone watching Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Yeah, and I wasn't old enough to see Revenge of the Nerds
No.
2. It was tamer compared to the first one.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have been watching that movie.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You're right, though. Music videos were just ads for the movies in the 80s. So if we consider Take My Breath Away, for example.
Ooh.
Yes.
So many Top Gun clips in there.
That's
Yeah.
really relatable summer parenting too. Of just I don't care what movie you're going to see. Get
Yes.
out of the car.
Just go. Just leave me.
Just be gone.
Well, I had a similar one about watching MTV all day, but I'll go with another one, which is, you both know my intense hatred of the Iowa State Fair.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
For those of you who are not in Iowa, who are not maybe in the U.S., who knows where people are listening to this from, the Iowa State Fair is a once-a-year event that people in the state go gaga for. I have never understood that impulse. I hate it with a fiery passion. But I will say one of my seminal adolescent moments was watching New Kids on the Block at the Iowa State Fair, circa 88, circa 89, somewhere around there. And it was all kids my age with maybe an adult, a parent with them. And there was a line all down the main place by the Grand State. I don't know the names. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
But it was so hot that day that they were people were coming and using hoses to just spray us down.
You were in a protest. That wasn't the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah. They were trying to get you to leave.
Yeah. Trying to get us to leave.
Yeah.
And then, because it was general admission, so the doors open and everyone just runs. And I'm with my dad, which props to Dad for taking me to New Kids on the Block. Yeah. We went up into the stage and sat like, human beings. And we sat up there and I saw the New Kids on the Block were just tiny little dolls on the stage. But I loved it so very much.
It would be so great comedically if we had an ad for Iowa State Fair right now that we could cut into this. Since it's coming up.
I've talked with our friend Haley, who also grew up in Des Moines. She also doesn't like the state fair. So I think maybe it's something to do with growing up here and being used to it or seeing it every year. I don't know. But
I think it's just good old fashioned Midwest disappointment. Something gets built up so much and then you go and you're like, so
this is it.
This is
Yeah.
Oh, this is the fair. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to come back.
Yeah. It's always gross hot. It's always things I would be not interested in any way. The smells are terrible.
It's not good. No.
But you can get a beer for $12.
Yeah. You sure can. And look at the biggest pumpkin you've ever seen.
I think I went a couple times as a kid, and each time I was like,
And you always know someone that's a fanatic. Like, I know someone that goes
Yes.
every day. What are you up to?
what are you doing every day?
How do you have that kind of time?
That's not what your body wants.
No.
No.
Did you, as a kid, did you come to the Iowa State Fair?
I as someone who did not grow up in Des Moines, I didn't really hear about it. Like, I mean, I kind of vaguely knew about it, but the first time I went was in the late 90s to a Wallflowers concert.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right. And the concert was good. I remember the concert being good, but then afterwards, me and a friend had ridden down with some friends who were then staying in Des Moines, and we were supposed to get a ride back with other friends. And this was before cell phones, and we were just like, meet us at the Bud Tent. Which, if you've been to the State Fair, there's like, that's not, the Bud Tent's a thing, but that's not really, you're not going to find another human being there, you know?
No.
You know? So yeah, we spent a couple hours trying to find that person, and it never happened. So we had to sleep on the floor of a stranger's apartment in Des Moines.
See, this is why the fair sucks.
Right. And then it was
Terrifying.
several connecting car rides the next day to get back to Cedar Falls.
Did you ever come as a kid?
I was trying to remember when you're talking. I don't think so. I mean, maybe once or twice, but I don't have any specific memories of it. I just remember the first time going as an adult. I've seen a couple concerts there too, but the first time that just legitimately was like, oh, okay, let's check out the Iowa State Fair, and being like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It was not great.
It was not great.
There's so many things just from parking. It starts with the parking. Things get weird right out of the gate.
Every element of it.
Right out
I
of the
hate.
gate. Yeah.
Like-
The walking.
The one.
So much walking. So much people just standing in your way when walking. It's so many things that are fried, which shouldn't sound bad, but after a while, it's not great.
Well, and now, the last 8 years I've been vegan, and there's
you're
nothing
really-
for me there.
yeah.
There's nothing.
Oh, they have salad on a stick.
Oh, that's true. Which is what? Is that a slice of lettuce or like a wedge of iceberg, pretty much?
I think it might. I think a wedge is too expensive.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah,
probably a couple pieces and then like a tomato.
I think
on
you
the
have to
end.
buy a huge pork chop on a stick to get it.
Right.
They won't give it to you unless you take the pork chop.
It would be kind of funny to go to all the vendors and be like, I'm vegan, what do you got for me? And just to see the looks on their faces.
That might actually be a great
That could be fun.
traveling episode. Just the reaction to you saying you're vegan over and over at the Iowa State Fair and watching that compute.
You're gonna get a few people that are gonna be like, "So where's vegan?
Yeah.
Did you fly in?"
That's so.
Do you speak English?
I've been with you at restaurants,
Yeah.
and people's reaction to it is so confused that I can only imagine that Iowa State Fair would be up a level.
Well, there we go. Future episode.
I'm in on it.
Experiment.
You could go like to the the hog barn and just be like, "I'm vegan. Your death is not on me."
Or go to the butter cow and be like, nope, nothing
Yeah.
here, nothing to see.
Nope.
Remember the year that they introduced fried butter, and I was like, so
Yeah.
how do we know you put butter in there? Because
Well, that's my hot take on the fair. There you go. I
That's
mean, there was
fair.
one good thing. New Kids on the Block.
a
1988,
great
89. Yeah.
Good for
I
them.
survived it. So did my dad.
here
there
to
we
tell
are.
about it.
Yeah.
It's even better.
A former coworker of mine had went to see New Kids on the Block. It might have been at the fair. It might have been that concert, but her friend's mom slept with the New Kids on the Block bus driver. What? to try to get like her daughter to meet the band, and it was like that's not who you sleep with. The bus driver's not like gonna tell the band like, oh, I need you to go meet somebody because I
I mean, that's some aggressive parenting,
yeah.
but bad targeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it seems like more likely maybe she just slept with the bus driver and afterwards was like, I did it for you, honey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Should we go back to this summer?
Yes,
Okay.
this summer. Okay. Well, let's see here now. Well, okay. We talked about this in our last pop culture episode. We talked about Benifer.
We did.
And they got married.
Now they're
in some
legit.
sort of weird quickie wedding.
Yep.
But what I find more than that, it's not even that for me. What it is for me now is that I have taken such delight in every photo that's come out because he looks petrified.
He does.
He looks like he shouldn't have done it. He looks like
Really?
he woke up the next day and thought, what in the actual fuck did I just do?
Oh my God.
And she looks like, I nailed it. I got it. I did it. I made him commit before he slipped away this time. I am winning.
Wow. I haven't seen any of these pictures.
Yeah,
Terrified.
No, yeah, he does. He looks mortified in all like all the pictures I've seen. It looks like you look like, I don't know, after eating at the state fair. Oh no! That's the look on your face where you're just like, God, I shouldn't have done that.
Like,
Wow.
the pictures of the actual wedding seemed fine, but then everyone that's come out, and she's got it, they're always talking about her fashion. She's got a different outfit on, and he's always to the side. It's never a full-on shot,
Right.
and it's never happy.
He looks a little sweaty too.
So sweaty,
Right?
yes.
Like-
maybe a little stuffed into his button-ups. Yeah.
Do you think it's like anxiety and panic that's causing sweat?
Maybe. And, there's nothing wrong with being sweaty. God bless sweaty people. But you also, if you're Ben Affleck, you kind of know the paparazzi are going to be out there. So you'd
And you've
probably-
got access to things that can help you with that sweating
some Gold
issue.
Blonde,
Sure.
some baby powder. I don't know.
Yeah. You got makeup people. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you also, they're dealing with a very blended family now. Maybe woke up the next day and was like, oh, wow, I didn't really care for my first 3 kids. Now I got extras.
Yep.
I don't know about any of that.
Yeah. Him as a dad seems sort of suspect.
Yeah, I don't know if he's real. That's not fair for me to say, but my impression from the outside is he doesn't seem very present.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to have that tattoo on your back that he has and still expect people to believe you are a thoughtful, caring father.
That's a good point.
Or to project authority in some way.
Yeah. I did read an article that said it was real, like it was kind of what it seemed like quickie, like it was J-Lo's idea, they did it quick, and his daughter did not attend, his oldest daughter, out of loyalty to Jennifer Garner. Although, by all reports, she's fine with it.
Right.
Okay. So much messy family drama.
So much.
But I keep looking at those pictures, waiting for him to smile, and it hasn't happened yet.
Wow.
So
It's been a few weeks now, hasn't it?
yeah, like at least a week.
2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, 2 or
Okay.
3 weeks. Okay.
I feel like E! News is going to have like a countdown soon, like in the corner, just be like,
yeah.
when will
Till
Ben
it
smile?
implodes.
You know?
Yeah.
And they'll just be like one of those, it's been 17 days since we've seen Ben Affleck smile.
And what are we going to do when they split up?
Yeah.
I mean, collectively, we need to start.
Yeah, I
thinking
think
about
you're right.
this.
I think the world is going to have a real
The nation
issue.
needs a plan.
Yeah, we need a plan. We have been caught planless quite a few times in the last couple of years. And if there's one thing we could get on board with, I think it's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
When Ben says, you know what? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just like before I'm on a jet. I'll see you in 20 years. Oh my gosh.
Go marry somebody else.
Because I didn't remember that, but apparently they were like very close to the actual wedding day when they broke up. And she sort of replanned the wedding to be the same thing, which seems ominous.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So I'm a little worried for J-Lo.
Okay.
Jennifer Garner's got that Capital One money. She's
That's
Yeah.
true. She's doing fine. She's doing all good.
She's
yeah.
killing it.
Yeah. What's in her wallet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a picture of Ben.
Nope.
You got anything else current for us, Heath?
I do. As any good homosexual American has done the last few days, you have purchased and listened to the Beyonce album.
I have not yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
And
good on you for doing your homosexual duty.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's interesting because there are no, there's a track list, but every song just goes right to the next. Like there's no like moment of silence
Okay.
between each song. It just goes all the way through to the end.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so what is your impression thus far?
I think it is good. I think that it is. If you like "Break My Soul," you will like the rest of it because it's got a specific sound to it. Some of them are actually pretty funny and interesting. But yeah, she she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
There's no ballads on it. There's none of. We don't got time for that. We're just having a good time. Beyonce's just out here having a good time.
Good for her.
Yeah.
We need Beyonce out there having a good time. Speaking of gay pop culture,
Sure.
how about Fire Island?
Oh.
That was a summer moment
Yes.
as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We were supposed to all watch it together. That didn't happen.
No.
But we all watched it.
We all watched it.
What was your take on that?
It was a good movie. It was funny. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty funny.
Yeah. Did you end up seeing it?
I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. It's kind of it's basically a retelling of Pride and Prejudice.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Bowen Yang is an American treasure.
He is.
Such an American treasure. And he played sort of like the, he just wanted love.
Right.
And he found it.
And he sang sometimes by Britney Spears in the film.
He did, you're right.
It's amazing. I did listen to an interview with Joel Kim Booster who said that the scene where he is walking in and they don't let him into the party or whatever is based on real life events. That's happened.
The one
to him
where they keep
multiple
saying,
times.
like, who are you?
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
I've
happened to him
introduced
multiple
myself.
times.
Oh my God. I did like that they were sort of taking on like sort of classism, and they were taking on racism within the gay community. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I think I was expecting more of a laugh riot.
Right, right, yeah.
Well, I have something current that also ties to the 80s.
Oh.
Which is Stranger Things. It is the phenomenon, the show itself, but also the fact that this year, they took on Satanic Panic, which is... it was needing to be taken on by the Stranger Things, but also they have featured 2 80s songs that have then gone on to become massive current day hits. One was Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. Like, she's made millions of dollars since this came out, just from people listening to that song. And then most recently, Metallica, Master of Puppets. And there was also a clip that came out just yesterday where the character who plays Eddie Munson, who in the show, the finale of the show, he does a performance of Master of Puppets. And they featured this actor meeting Metallica at Lollapalooza, getting to practice with them. Like, it was so cool. But yeah, they've had their song, like, rise up on the charts again. So we got 80s music back on the charts.
I like the idea. For some reason, I assume Kate Bush, like, doesn't have Netflix. I don't know why. But I like the idea... I like the idea that she just was at home one day, like, reading, and someone just showed up with, like, a truckload of cash and was like, by the way, here you go. And she was just like, wait, what? Like, is Ed McMahon here? Did I win Publishers Clearinghouse?
You're right. I kind of picture her in, like, a cottage
Right.
with no access to the outside world, just fairies flying around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she's off the grid, but she's getting that check.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I like supporting a 80s recluse.
Satisfying. Okay, so are we back to 80s?
Yeah, let's do an 80s one.
We're back to 80s. Okay. So I remember this. I must not remember when it very first happened, but I remember this story, which tells me that it had lasting power, because when I think of the 80s, this was one of the first things that popped into my head, admittedly. And it feels like another one of those times in our history where we could have seen what was going to happen like multiple years later, but we just ignored it. In 1984, Vanessa Williams became the first African-American Miss America.
Yes.
For it to be stripped months later.
Yes.
Because Penthouse said, oh no, we have explicit photos of her and we're going to run them.
Uh-huh.
And she said, nope, gave everything back and just sort of backed out of the room slowly. So it feels like we saw the naked selfie phenomenon happening before it happened.
You're right.
We could have stopped it.
Also, that feels like a precursor to a lot of other stuff we've been talking about, like Pam and Tommy and things like that, where there's not... Like agency has been removed from the conversation.
I hadn't thought of that in like those specific terms until I was thinking about 80s stuff and I was like, oh yeah, that had to be 80s, right? And I looked up, I was like, it was, but I don't know. I was 3 at the time it happened. So that's how long that story, because it must have continued to be in the consciousness for that amount of time.
I remember that was like the conversation about her for a long time, even when she was releasing music.
Right.
And so it almost felt like when we were listening to her music, it felt like kind of bad. Because we're listening to the lady that had naked pictures.
To be fair, some of it was bad. Not all of it. Not all of it's the theme from Pocahontas.
That's what I kept thinking.
Save the best for last.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, I think it speaks to her, I know I'm making jokes, but it speaks to her talent too as a singer, as an actress. Because, I mean, the fact that she was kind of able to overcome being, a beauty queen to be successful in other ways, and you couple that with, having these explicit photos shared, which, even now people, that would tarnish your image, when people are a little bit more open-minded about stuff. But yeah, for her to sort of kind of surpass all that and sort of go on to be, a successful actress and award-winning singer and all that stuff.
Yeah, she's definitely had the last laugh on that.
I also feel like what have we done with this Penthouse guy? He did it to Pam. He did it to Vanessa Williams. I'm sure there's plenty of other stories, but why is there not an expose on him yet, or like a
That's a good
reckoning with where Penthouse came from? Because
Is Penthouse still a thing?
I don't know. That's what I was going to
Has it
ask.
moved all online?
I would think so.
I remember
Doesn't exist anymore.
when I worked at the
Listeners, could
bookstore,
you
you
tell
could
us
buy
if
it
Penthouse
there.
is still a thing?
You could buy it.
And
yeah.
it was really uncomfortable when
I'm
people
sure
would
it
buy it. You'd
was.
be like, oh, that's it today then? Just the Penthouse? Are you a member of our monthly book club?
Did it come in like a paper bag or something?
Yeah, I had a cover you couldn't
Okay.
see what was on.
So
It
you
was like
didn't
in
see
plastic
boobies.
wrap, and there was a cover around it that you couldn't see what was in it. But yeah, and then you'd have to like put it in. Do you want it in a bag or? Okay.
Do you want to just take it with
Yeah.
you? Or are you going to
Yeah.
use it right now? Okay.
We just got the new Playboys in. You sure this is all you want? I'm supposed to upsell. So there's also great letters from Penthouse on the shelf.
So there was Playboy, there was Penthouse, there was Hustler. Where did Penthouse fall into terms of like just filth versus like the others? Like Playboy was supposedly more classy, right?
I think Penthouse wanted to be Playboy.
Yeah.
But then also liked what Hustler was doing. It
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of be the worst.
Yeah.
I feel like Playboy was, if Playboy was Target and Hustler was Walmart, Penthouse was Kmart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Penthouse was.
Entirely accurate.
Penthouse on some level was just like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're thinking, but we sell Martha Stewart sheets, okay?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
That's true. Yeah. But Kmart doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No.
So maybe Penthouse doesn't either.
Maybe.
Let's hope. I mean, I guess if you're a big fan, sorry, but I don't know why you're listening to this.
And also, what are your life choices?
I think, yeah, I
There's
think
better
you guys
stuff out
lost
there.
some listeners right now when you're like, all the Penthouse readers that are listening now.
They
are
just logged off.
So when I worked at the
Goodbye.
bookstore, when inventory would get sent back, you had to rip the cover off. And you sent the covers back to the publisher, not the actual book. They didn't care what you did with that. You just recycled it like paperbacks. And the letters from Penthouse would get turned over frequently enough that they were always getting thrown away. So we always kept one on the break room table because nothing's funnier on your 15-minute break
Oh my
than
God.
reading a letter from Penthouse.
Do you have any memories of specific
Was,
ones?
was it like an advice column, or was it just like, this is something that happened to me?
Yeah,
or
there's like categories. Like, yeah, there would be like advice ones like, Dear Abby, but
Right.
not Abby. And there was other ones that were just like, hey, this happened to me. Like more just like a story, which is probably just fan fiction. That's what we would call fan fiction now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they would answer some of them. And it was just the things that I was like, some of these are very immediate problems to write a letter to Penthouse and wait for it to get published.
Right, yes.
You have some bigger issues to solve, I think, quicker than the book publishing cycle.
Maybe that's why the manosphere has taken off so much, because it's instant gratification
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
weird fan fiction and your
yeah.
yeah.
It was very weird, like sexual questions. Like, this
course.
happened to me. What should I do?
Yeah.
Well, probably not take the time to write a Penthouse letter. I'm gonna guess.
Maybe go see a doctor.
Yeah.
I wish someone would invent time travel so I go back in time to someone writing a Penthouse letter to be
Yeah.
like, in the future, I can have paper towels brought to my house in like less than 24 hours. Like, I'll just come home from work and they're just at my door, and you've got 6 months to find out.
You're at the mercy of the publishing schedule. Yeah. What do you got, Heath? Anything from the 80s?
This is probably, I think, a category of songs from the pool.
Oh, okay.
Because I do remember, I would, obviously as a kid, you go to the pool a lot in the summertime, and they would always have, pop radio playing. And so, one of the songs I remember most is "Toy Soldiers" by Martika, which, if you haven't heard it, good for you.
It's epic.
I would say overwrought is probably the word I would use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
melodramatic, overwrought.
Yeah, and I'm not super duper sure what it's about.
No, because you and Eric have played it for us multiple times, and I cannot tell you what
Yeah.
it would be about. Yeah.
It seems like something didn't go right, but we don't know what. And it's just like, don't be so vague, Martika.
Yeah.
So I would check that out. But I remember the other song I remember, and apparently they played a lot of slow songs at the pool, was the Jets. You Got It All. And it was a slow song. The Jets were kind of They were sort of like
Yeah.
like the Jacksons, but they
Yeah.
were from Minnesota. There was a family of like 8 of
The
them. and
Minnesota
they-
Jacksons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And they would, basically there was one singer, and I think the rest of the family just played the instruments. And I don't, like now having, we talked about behind the music, like having watched TLC's Behind the Music, where Lisa Lofty Lopez explains how the music industry works and how you get paid, and how they could have the #1 song in the country and have to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Like I think of the Jets, and I'm like, so each of you made about $4.85 like per year working in this band, correct? By the time all the money came in, and they split it 8 ways. So, but I remember that song being played a lot, and I remember it being in a movie called Jaws: The Revenge, which was the Jaws 4, which was one of the
Did you see that by yourself too?
I watched that at home.
Okay,
all
right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I should have seen it by myself. Everyone should watch it alone. But it's one of the best terrible movies that's ever existed.
I mean, number 4. Yeah.
Right.
They were pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, and, the premise of the film is that this shark, which, to my understanding, had been killed in 3 previous films,
Yes. Yeah.
Plot hole. Yeah.
followed the wife of Roy Scheider's character from the original one. She went to the Bahamas to see her son, and this shark followed her from.
Oh, because sharks,
Right.
they have personal vendettas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Followed her down to the Bahamas to get her.
I did see
following.
like a clip that the original writer of Jaws later in life just said he regretted it. He is the one thing he wished he never did.
Because of all the sequels and stuff?
I think so, and because of what it did for the shark community.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
The shark community doesn't
the
deserve
shark
this credit.
community. Yeah.
Because now we have a whole Shark Week dedicated to making sure that you understand that sharks don't bite you, and then you watch people get bit for a week.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
It's very confusing.
Also, what did you have like a public pool? What kind of pool did you go to?
Yes, it was a public pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to ask a follow-up question about that. 2 slow songs at the pool seemed
That's
really interesting.
very
choice
interesting.
To me.
Were people like,
Yeah, like how do you, what do you
dancing, like making out to it? Like, what was the vibe?
No, I think the vibe was, like pervy 11-year-olds, like kind of like going up to the side of the pool and like kind of peering at, the teenage girls who were laying out, like that kind of thing.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. That sounds right.
Okay. Okay.
Did you have a public pool that you went to?
We did.
Yeah. I think I went to there was an East Side pool here, but also because my dad was a police officer, they had a pool for the police recreation facility, and it was over in Pleasant Hill, and it was like a building that you could rent out. In fact, my brother got married there later, but then there was a pool in the back, so all the families of police officers in Des Moines could just go and hang out at the pool. And it was great because so many times in the summer we'd go and no one else were there, so it was like, this is our pool. But then there were other times there were other kids there, and I hated that.
Yeah, rude.
Yeah.
That's the first time that this is an odd memory, but we can cut this if we want.
No.
That's the first time I remember seeing pubic hair outside of a swimsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Standing in line for the diving board, and I
Okay.
was like,
Female, male?
female.
Okay. Just,
was like-
kind of around the
Yeah,
pubic
I was
area.
like, that feels like, not only do you not have friends, but where are your parents? Like, it's that obvious that I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Note
yeah.
to self on future endeavors.
Maybe she was from Europe? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go. I think we'll go with
Hanging
that.
out
Yeah.
in Mason City and Clear Lake. Yeah.
Getting on that diving board.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to dive anymore.
All that hair. It's going to be floating around in there.
I have questions that I shouldn't have now.
Good one. My 80s one was a few key summer movies and going to see them. One was Return of the Jedi. That was my first like major movie experience. And it was at this old theater here in Des Moines. It's not there anymore. River Hills, and I think it was 2 separate theaters, and they were both huge. River Hills and Riviera, maybe. And I remember there was a line through the parking lot for Return to the Jedi, and I was 6. And I loved it so much. I don't think I'd seen the other Star Wars yet, but I was all in. I got like a movie tie-in book.
Oh.
That was it.
You're
And then I
about
was a
it.
Star Wars fan, yes. But also, I remember seeing Back to the Future in the theater.
Ah, yes.
And I remember laughing so hard in the car after thinking about the manure scene. Like, that was the best movie ever! My tastes are, they were there.
I was not I mean, obviously we weren't friends in the 80s.
No,
but
no.
When you say young Amy went to a movie, now all I can think of was your original Top Gun experience.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to mention. Yeah, was seeing the original Top Gun in 1986, which is a big year this year, by the way. Lots of things coming back. Yeah, have I told this story on the podcast?
I don't know.
Well, you're going to hear it again.
Yeah,
Here it is.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth a listen.
It is funny because then Heath and I went to see the sequel not too long ago, and I told him this story, and I was like, I feel like there's going to be someone gross behind us. Thankfully, no one. No one is close enough.
grosser than usual, just the normal level of gross.
Just a regular level of Flicks Brewhouse gross. But yeah, Dad and I went to see Top Gun, and in the love scene, which, let's be clear, there's no skin. You don't see anything. There's some curtains wafting in the wind. And Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise are trying to bite each other's faces off.
They both want to be anywhere but there.
Have no desire to be there. So it's not explicit in any way.
Right.
But there was a guy behind my dad and I who, when this was going on, was like, yeah, get it. And
aggressive.
I'm 8, 9, and I think I just looked at my dad like, huh? And I could see he was like, oh, fuck. So the guy kept doing it, and Dad turned around and said, buddy, I got my daughter here, like, stop it. And the guy did not take the hint. So we got up while the sex scene is still going on. We got up out of one side of the theater and then just went in the other side so that we could avoid gross guy. But that was it. We didn't report him. We didn't do anything,
I wouldn't want to do that.
Strong memory of heavy breather guy over my shoulder.
And when we saw the sequel, that was me.
I was going to say, when we went to see Bombshell, you had a weird guy sitting next to you making comments too.
This?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like but he was trying to act like he was an ally.
Yes, he was.
Because he kept saying reprehensible. And we're
He
like,
did.
that's not a word you can whisper under your breath.
No, he was
Reprehensible.
very loud.
Like, it was not.
Yeah, like in the scene where Margot Robbie's getting, violated. Yeah, he wanted to make it very clear he was not one of those guys.
Like, eating
Reprehensible!
Yeah.
But what? Okay, buddy.
I think just by attending that movie,
Yeah,
like,
you're
we all
fine.
We're
Get
get
it.
what
We
you
get
what
it.
you
We're
think.
there.
Yeah. And you're here by yourself. That's fine. But yeah, okay.
I do remember when we saw the new Top Gun. I thought it was curious the way they shot the love scene in this too, because like you can just see Tom Cruise's like shoulders, and it's very much like it was maybe a Lifetime movie from like the 80s, like that level. Like
Yes.
Cinemax would be like,
was
no, we're not showing this. Like,
Yes. You're right. It was even less
right.
erotic than the original.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I mean, they had the beach scene again, like he was out with his
That's
shirt
true.
off. I don't know if he hadn't done his crunches that day or what was going on, but yeah.
I felt like the biggest mistake that movie made, which I know is saying a lot about that movie, the biggest mistake was having Tom Cruise give that little speech before the movie started, because it really drew attention to the filter they used while filming. He looked
You're right.
terribly old in that, and then you start watching the new Top Gun, you're like, wow, he really, like, did they shoot this 15 years ago? Because he looks a lot younger.
Pandemic was hard on him.
Yeah, it reads on his face. It's rough.
Summer movies
Summer
in the theaters.
movies. It's a
And
good one.
weirdos. It started young. Weirdos surrounding me. And good to
And
know
look
they're
at you
still-
today.
And look at me today.
A couple more weirdos.
Yep, that's right.
Are we back to current?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This one I'm saying because I love a good reality TV program, and summer brings some, but none more so than I felt like, and this is kind of encompassing quite like maybe over the past couple years, and I might be stretching summer just a little bit, but Supreme Court nomination hearings are the new reality TV because I don't think you can write Ted Cruz asking someone if a baby is racist.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw that in reality TV, you'd be like,
Was
well,
that this
I can't
summer?
imagine. I think it was like spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close
I
enough.
think
Yeah. Just
But,
time
I
moves
mean,
so weird. I
Ted
don't
Cruz
know.
being a stupid dipshit is evergreen.
Yeah.
It really
yeah.
is.
But just that, how absolutely crazy that question is. And
Yeah.
I watch a lot of reality TV, and I feel like there are times when I'm like, oh, I might be over this program now, because this feels like it's, like now it's too far. Even I have a line.
Are you ever over the program?
No.
Okay.
But I wonder, with Ted Cruz, though, I feel like maybe he was like, can a baby be racist?
Yeah.
Like, we need to get on that.
Yeah.
Like, is there a way to make this happen?
Yeah.
So it was an actual question. Like,
Yeah.
Can you answer that for me? Because
Yeah.
they're going to ask me later in the hallway, and I don't know.
Get the guys in the lab on that. See what we can do.
Yeah. Can you make them racist? That's
Yeah,
really what
that's
he's
what he was
asking.
really looking for. Yeah.
But, paired with like the Brett Kavanaugh, I like beer thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was Matt Damon playing Brett Kavanaugh, but the sentiment was there.
It was there. Yeah.
I just feel like it's the new.
You're right. There's a tie to reality TV.
It's new.
Yeah.
It's a new program. I mean, when C-SPAN started, I don't think they thought we're going to be the #1 network.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to kill it. And now I feel like they've spent some money and they've got some characters.
Yay.
Not really, but
Yay for America.
it's just something that I don't think I'll ever forget from this time period.
Yeah.
Because just the absurdity. And like, I always think when these things happen of later, when you're in school and you learn history and you think, how did someone not say something? Like, how'd that happen?
Right.
And this is the type of thing that people are going to think. How did someone not say it? He really asked someone about that?
I think about that all the time, especially over the last few years as things have gotten just weirder and darker and scarier. Like, looking back at history as a kid, it was like, why did no one like say anything about, this and that? And I'm like, well, because you're adults and you still have to make money and you still have to live in this fucking weird world.
And and it matters not a lick if
Not
you
a
say
lick.
something.
Not a lick.
Yeah.
But to tie into the 80s, too, I mean, Clarence Thomas, his hearings were in the 80s. And
Yes.
that was a gross disaster for all of us.
And if we had only listened to Anita Hill,
If we had only
better off we
listened.
would be. Yeah. What a fun guy that guy is.
Yeah.
Fun. Just fun.
He's great.
And his wife, who smells
yeah.
Ginny like that. That's just fun. Love her. Ugh.
But he's a chill hang.
Is
Totally,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, on the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned, you and I were sharing some fantasies about how he might expire. It was very therapeutic.
It had some Wile E. Coyote vibes, too.
Yeah, it really did. And,
It should. It says it should. 100%.
A little more gay, but yeah.
It's also reminding me, as a tie back to the 80s, Mike and I have recently started watching Dallas from the beginning.
Oh.
And it's giving me those vibes too. Like, how can this be happening? Like, this is so bad. And then there's not much difference.
Can you tell us what sparked rewatching Dallas?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to this. I'm just curious.
Well, one part specifically that we'll leave off, but
Okay.
tell you after recording. Sorry, listeners. Sorry.
Well.
But they were something we were specifically looking for TV that we could both find entertaining and funny, but that wasn't dark. It wasn't going to have anything to do with
Right.
anything happening now. Just something
call.
like, and we were like, we're only going to watch 1 or 2 episodes a weekend, so it's going to take forever because there's a bajillion seasons of it. And it has delivered. Wow. It has been everything that you thought it was and more. There are times that I'm actually surprised that it aired. Like, certain things happen that I'm like, wow, they got that on prime time. Good for you. Good
Do you
for
think
you.
this will you then follow up with Dynasty, Falcon Crest?
I don't know.
Knots
We
Landing?
might have to. I don't know. Things are wild at Dallas. And apparently they are the only family in Dallas, which is what we've learned. There's 2 families in Dallas, and that is it. They picked the biggest metropolis they could find and came up with 2 families. And it's great. It's great. It's everything you want from the 80s. The fashion, the language. We now always have a catchphrase in the house, which is just Bobby. Just yelling Bobby.
Maybe you and Michael need to start watching Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His I've heard the stories of his parents would watch they had friends who they would watch every Friday night. They would all get together and they would watch it together.
I kind of like
So
that.
That's kind of fun to think of, Michael's mom and dad, very smart, intelligent people. Like, let's get some Dallas on.
I remember they had a reboot on like TNT a few years ago, and I watched that, and I remember talking to his dad about it, and his dad just hooting and hollering because the original show was so ridiculous. They really kind of had to, crank it up a notch, to sort of fit in with the things that are on TV today, and it was wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll go down that path. And once we get to the end, we might have to watch the reboot just for comparison's sake.
Well, I think they have some of the actors.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah, Bobby, the guy that played Bobby is in it.
Patrick Duffy.
Yes, and Linda Gray, Sue Ellen.
Oh,
She is in it.
Sue Ellen is something.
Uh-huh.
Woo.
Was she when she was a booze hound, the whole original run her character was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, at least so far. Yeah, we're into season 2, and I will say, she's not without a drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think they made a distinct decision between season 1 and season 2 to make her unlikable, because you did not like her season 1. Like, she was just you kind of felt bad for her.
Okay.
There's a part where she's forced to like wear a swimsuit in front of these guys that are robbing the place. It got weird.
Ew.
Yeah, dark.
What?
Dark. Well, 'cause she was like a pageant queen, so she had to put it. It was weird. That scene was weird. And I don't know if the drinking
As happens in
escalated
robberies.
as it
Yeah.
happens, and everyone just watched. Like, no one else said anything. It was intense. But anyway, then second season, she's really come out guns a-blazing and not happy with anyone, and just real sneaky like stuff.
So yeah, they
Shady.
decided to make her.
Yeah, they decided to up that a little bit, but still the booze, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And still weird swimsuits, but this time appropriately at the pool. Because as one does, they just hang out at the pool on an afternoon with your in-laws.
As one does.
Uh-huh.
I think my list is actually done. Do you have any more, Heath?
Are we doing 90s or are we doing 80s? Or not 90s. Sorry. Are
I
we
was gonna
doing
say, were we doing 90s?
Shit, I have one more.
I am not prepared.
So many more. Either one.
Yeah.
I will say the only other thing on my list is Molly Shannon's autobiography, Hello, Molly.
Yeah. I haven't read it yet. You said it was.
It's really good. It's almost like a first person. It's almost like she was just telling someone these stories and they were sort of recording them.
Oh,
And
cool.
so it's all very much, you can hear her voice in your head when you're reading it. And it's just, she had a tough, interesting life. And the fact that she's sort of kind of, ended up where she is, in a good place is kind of amazing because I think when she was 4, her family was in a car accident and her mother died. Her dad was driving and he was drunk and he hit a pole.
Oh my God.
And that killed her mother, and I believe a cousin was in the car too. And so that was kind of like, and that, that kind of defines your life.
And the dad
Something
survived
like that.
and had to
Yeah.
deal with that guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it was really, and the interesting stuff, and you always, and I said, at least when I'm reading these kinds of celebrity autobiographies, you're kind of eager to get to the part where, like, when she's on Saturday Night Live and kind of hear those stories. But it was so interesting getting up to that point too, like when she was living in Los Angeles and was kind of, struggling to sort of hit it big. She was a waitress at a restaurant, and like she tells a story of what Julia Roberts came in and just ordered sausage. She came in for breakfast and just asked for sausage, and that's what she had. That's the whole story. Like there was never like Julia Roberts was unkind to her or anything like that. But that was the whole story. I'm like, I find that interesting.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited to read that one.
I will say, if anybody does read it, don't look at the pictures in the middle of it before you finish reading it. Read the whole book, and then go back and look at the
Spoilers?
pictures. There's one thing that does get spoiled in the captions of the photos.
Okay.
So
That's good advice, right?
Yeah. I'm tapped out on my
You
list.
tapped out. Yeah, nothing else from the
nothing
80s?
else.
Nothing?
No. Well, I mean, I had the perm, so
Yeah, that
that
was a
kind
lot.
of goes.
You did
a long
come in
way.
strong with the perm.
Yeah.
That was a solid,
So-
solid.
And I showed you a
great.
picture with a Thriller T-shirt, so I don't know what else I can do for you, Erin.
I'm sorry, you're right. And Thriller came out in the 80s, so I don't know what else I'm asking for.
Well,
here.
yeah, actually, that's a good point. In summer of like '84, I had I think it was like a Casio tape player, and I had Like a Virgin and I had Thriller cassette tapes, and I played them so much on this rinky-dink little toy thing that I broke both the tapes.
wow. But the cassette player survived.
Maybe the cassette player, but I'm not quite sure how that went down. I just went to listen one day and there was no music anymore. The music had died.
The day the music
The
died.
day the music died.
Oh.
Also, I had no idea what a virgin was, but I loved the album nonetheless.
That's amazing. That's
I
actually
was
the best part of that
7.
story.
Yeah, 7 and had no idea. But I love me some Madonna.
Also,
some Michael
her rise,
Jackson.
Yeah, was big in the 80s.
You got anything more for us?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean, I got random things, but nothing that we all don't know. I mean, what else can we cover? Yeah.
I think for the fact that Heath and I are deep in our 40s, and you are early 40s. We did an admirable job
got there, you got
of
there,
talking
you got
about
there.
pop culture of today.
Yeah.
We probably missed a lot of stuff that is more relevant to the younger folks, but here we are.
We didn't talk about TikTok once.
Nope.
We didn't.
No.
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 Nope.
Sure didn't. Here, we brought it to you. So, I mean, I don't know really what you do with these pop culture vibes. I was going to say, I was like, well, no, you can't do that.
Listen, show notes, I'm going to include a lot of clips.
Yeah.
I'm going to include clips to all the songs we mentioned. You're going to hear Martika if you haven't heard it before.
Perfect.
And this is
You'll
going to
be hearing it forever.
It's going to change your life, and you're going to say, God damn, Heath knew what he was talking about.
Yes.
And he changed my life. That's what's going to happen.
Is the picture of the perm going to be available in the show notes?
I mean, I can share that with you, and you can put it in our social if you want to.
All right, let's do
I
that.
have no fears about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know why you would. It's a great picture. I mean, I think you're holding the 80s down strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it's taken me 45 years to be comfortable with this, but yeah.
If you still look like that now, then I think we would have some questions. But you didn't have a lot of agency.
No, except
You didn't buy
wanting
that
a perm.
swimsuit, I can tell you that.
No.
It does give read a little bit like if Reba McEntire was a child in the 90s.
This was 88, baby.
I'm talking about if Reba from the 90s happened to be a child.
It's so accurate. Fancy don't let me down.
Oh, well, the good news is
There we go.
we'll be back next week.
Yeah,
We're
we
going to
will.
have Heath back soon. We have to do another cookbook. We've
Yeah,
gotten a lot of good
another
feedback on
cookbook I
that,
think
yeah.
is called for.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Happy reading.